Thank you, thank you. Well, my presentation is about a new LabVIEW tool that hopefully improve the developer experience of the QMH projects. I'm Enrique. I'm a certified LabVIEW architect, and I'm going to talk about my LabVIEW history first. I fell in love with LabVIEW when I was studying electronics and telecommunications. It was nearly 1999 when I first met with LabVIEW. So I fell in love immediately because this new LabVIEW, new graphical programming language enabled me to make reality my ideas. So it was really cool. I studied in the Universidad de La Salle Bajío. Eventually, in 2004, I became the LabVIEW teacher at the same university. My classes were about virtual instrumentation, data acquisition systems. And in 2008, I started working at the Centro de Investigaciones en Óptica. I oversaw the engineering department. My typical day was about virtual instrumentation, creating software to research some cool optical phenomena. I did a lot of vision there. I started the LabVIEW Academy. I trained 2 CLDs and more than 20 CLADs. I did a little bit of industrial projects. And then the COVID happened. And I started getting involved in the LabVIEW community via Week, GLA Summit. And there's a very long history about that. But I started working as a software contractor for Fabiola de la Cueva, Delacor. So she became my mentor, my sensei. I started learning a lot of things about DQMH and LabVIEW from her and other software contractors. So this is the beginning of my LabVIEW business. It is called Panther Lab. I started in September of 2021. I'm an alliance partner, and I am part of the DQMH Trusted Advisors Network. So I'm located in León, Guanajuato, Mexico. This is the way of my accent. The services I am providing is software consultancy, software development. I'm doing LabVIEW training, DQMH training, and my tools are primarily LabVIEW, but I do a little bit of Python and Flutter. Flutter is a multi-platform framework to build mobile apps, web apps, desktop apps. So this is my intro. The DQMH Trusted Advisor Network consists on several LabVIEW businesses across the globe, different sizes, different targets, different languages. But we all share the love for LabVIEW and, of course, DQMH. If you want to know more about DQMH Trusted Advisors, you can go to dqmh.org, and there's a lot of important info. Our audience are female. This hashtag to highlight the outstanding contribution of women in science. In my presentation, I choose to talk about Grace Brewster Murray Hopper. Hopefully I say it correctly. She was an American computer scientist, and she was in the development team of the Harvard One Mark computer. This is a little bit image there, but this was not like a computer nowadays. So this was a lot of electromechanical elements. She was a pioneer in computer programming science. She was one of the first people to visualize the computer independent programming languages. So you can create one program and run it across several computers. She created this language called Flowmatic, and this is an early ancestor of COBOL. So she was known as Grandma COBOL. So I choose talking about Grace because there is one history fact about her when she was trying to troubleshoot this computer. and she found a bug. So this piece of paper is in a museum. I don't remember exactly where it's located, but it highlights the first bug in the computer history, and I think is funny because when I was first trying to learn programming, when every teacher say, "Hey, let's remove the bugs." What bugs? What bugs? But this is the history about that. Okay. So my presentation is about a new LabVIEW tool related to DQMH. But if you are not in the DQMH world, maybe you can grab some ideas and use it in another architecture. So a really quick intro about DQMH. I grabbed this information from one presentation Darren Nattinger did. This is the link. If you want to watch the entire presentation, this is the link. DQMH project. DQMH is a framework. The very basic block of DQMH is a module. You can create modules, two kinds of modules, singletons and clonables. It is related to reentrancy. So a module is a LBLIB. It's a LabVIEW library. So this module can have a really well-defined API. What you can do with a module, you can request the module to do something, can actually have an answer back to the caller. The mechanism, the communication mechanism is a user event. And the module can be broadcasting information. So the module doesn't care who is listening to this information. If you want to listen some broadcast, you have to create an event structure, register for this module event, and that's it. So there is communications in several ways with the module. So, okay, my tool. Everything started when DQMH 6.1 was released, because this new release of DQMH has three major improvements. The first is it has a new module dialog improvements. The second is it has quick drop support. So you can use quick drop and launch all the scripting tools in DQMH. It is really cool. And the third one is the scripting API. The scripting API is several BIs related to the DQMH framework. This is the core of the tool I developed. The new module dialog command, okay, has several fields. You can configure the module path. This is new. You can also configure the module description. This is where the developer tried to figure out what the module purpose is. You can configure virtual folders and a lot of stuff. The quick drop support, you can call the quick drop, and there is a table with a lot of keywords. So you choose the keyword. I want a new event. You can place AE and Control E, and there is a call to the scripting tools, the DQMH scripting tools. So it is really easy to work with DQMH with this new improvement. Okay. The scripting API. This new scripting API allows you to search for DQMH module libraries in your project. Once you have a library, DQMH library, you can get all the events related to this library. Once you have an event, you can find all the code calling this event, and you can find who is listening to a broadcast. And there are two BIs for validation tasks. So the scripting API is really simple. The first BI is you got a project reference, and you get a bunch of an array of reference, a library reference, DQMH modules. You can know if the modules are clonable or singleton with this Boolean array. Get the BIs in DQMH module. So you have a library reference, and you got all the events related to this module. This BI, you have a request and you have a project, and you can search for all the BIs calling this request. And the same for the broadcast. You have a project, you have a broadcast, you can search in all your project for all the BIs registered to this specific broadcast. So the official name of this new LabVIEW tool is Panther Dashboard for DQMH. Is available on BIPM. It is an open source project, so if you like something about this new tool, you can use it in your own architectures. It depends on DQMH 6.1, of course, and it is developed in LabVIEW 2019 because I am using NI3. So 3map, the maps were introduced in LabVIEW in 2019. So I was trying to solve several problems with this tool. The first one is the project documentation. So when I write in code, sometimes I have typos, or just decide don't write anything related to documentation because I am in a hurry. The second problem I was trying to solve is navigating easily in the project with DQMH projects. And the third problem I want to solve is to handle zombie modules. Zombie modules is really simple. A module, you can start a module, the module is alive, it does something, and you have to tell the module to stop. So if you don't stop your module, you have zombie modules in the project. So the project documentation, sometimes we have projects with DQMH, but the documentation looks like this, like a desert. There is nothing documented. Or the project is an ongoing project, and you just need an update. So this is another situation. And there are really cool tools in the PIP network, like Antidoc, that parses your project and creates a file that can easily be converted to PDF or another formats. So if your project doesn't have any documentation, even you run this Antidoc tool, you got an empty file or incomplete file. But this is something I trying to solve. So Panther Dashboard trying to help you to update your documentation in your project, just navigating into the events, libraries, etc. The project navigation. This is just one DQMH module. So when I was learning DQMH, I was confused about what BIs I can use, what's this BI for, etc., etc. So once I learned all the BIs are available to the end user, are located in the public API folder. But this was something confusing me at first. This is a problem. And the third, the find zombie modules. Sometimes you have a project, several modules running, and you stop the application and it sucks. There are 2 zombies there. So as a recap, you can edit and improve your documentation in your project related to DQMH. The second addition is you can find and easily explore your project in the DQMH context. You can kill zombies. and you can call the DQMH tools all in one single dashboard. So how to install? You just go to DQMH, or you can go to the GitHub repository and clone it. And you search for Panther dashboard for DQMH and install it. How to use this tool? You go to the tools, Panther Lab, Panther dashboard, and this user interface will pop up. So this is the user interface. It has several sections. The first one is the scan section, where you select the project to be scanned. The documentation section, where you can visualize and improve your documentation. The modules and status and cloud exploration section. So this is a tree. The event call relationships, you can search who is calling this request, who is listening for this broadcast. There are two buttons. The DQMH tools to create events and modules. The API tester, you can call the API tester for all of your modules in your project. And you can trigger some of the default events. Okay, status and theme and about. Okay, the scan section. So whenever this tool is open, it's constantly parsing how many projects are opened, and it is populating this combo box with the project. You select the project and just click the scan project. This flag allows you to scan under the dependencies for all the DQMH modules not listed in your project. So the results section, you can see and visualize easily all the requests, broadcasts for each of your DQMH modules in your project. And there are four different glyphs. And it is really simple. Greens, running. Red are stopped. The ones with a small shadow are clonable. The ones without shadow are singletons. This is possible after using this BI of the scripting API. So I am getting all the requests of each of the modules and creating these three. The documentation section has these small logs in the upper corner. You can unlock and start editing your library descriptions. And the same for the events. Okay. So there is another log in the event. You can visualize even the connector pane of the event selected and see the actual event description. It's like the context help, but in the DQMH context. So with this button, you can search for the event colors, and if the event is a broadcast, you can search for event calls listening to this specific broadcast. Okay. Okay, the API tester section, you can call the API tester of each module. If the module is clonable, you can select which clonable instance you want to tell to show the panel, hide the panel, show block diagram, or stop the module. If the module is singleton, this will be disabled and gray out. The scripting tools, really easy. The four buttons at the top are for is for calling the scripting tools to create events, remove events, convert, etc. All the DQMH stuff is in these buttons. The ones in the bottom is related to modules, to creating module templates, etc. The status. So what I try to do is to let the end user know what is the tool doing. And the theme, this little button that says theme, is to switch between two different user interfaces, the dark and light. Okay, time for a demo. Oh. Okay, this is, let me close this. This is the continuous measurement and logging default project with a little bit of extra code. So if I run this project, does this. So you can calibrate, start your project. A lot of modules are involved. I don't know how many modules. You can stop, you can call the settings, and that's it. This is the default project. But when I try to close this project, I get this. What is happening here is closing the project will abort some running VIs. What does it mean? So there is running code there that it is still running. So if I click OK, so everything will be about. But what about the tool? So I'm gonna open the Panther Lab, Panther dashboard, and there you go. This is the dashboard. I'm trying to do the zoom. Okay. Okay. So I'm gonna select the project and include the dependencies. Start scanning. The bottom status indicator is telling me that it is scanning the project and it is finding modules. So there is also a progress bar there in order to you to realize how many modules you have. So that's it. I found these 6 modules and we have 2 zombies. So let's kill some zombies. I feel like Rick of Walking Dead. Okay, singleton, stop module. It is stop, I mean clonable. So realize this module ID changes if I am using a clonable or singleton. So the clonable module, I'm gonna stop, and that's it. So let's find where is the problem to these zombie modules. So I'm gonna start with the settings editor. I'm gonna open this module API tester and start the module, and you can realize it is turning green. So it means this is not the module calling these zombie modules. Okay, I'm gonna stop this. Let's open the logger. So logger is calling in some way the settings editor. So there are 2 modules, but not the zombies. The zombies is the clonable and the singleton. So I'm gonna stop this. Everything looks good. I'm gonna open the acquisition module. Start. There you go. There's the clonable, the settings, and the singleton. So it means, in some way, this module is related to these zombies. So if I just stop this module, there are, again, 2 zombies. Let's explore this module. So I can visualize all the requests and wait for reply, and a broadcast related to this module. So I just start navigating in the module. This is the easy navigation feature that I was talking about. So I'm gonna double click, start acquiring. So, oh, zombie spotted. This is a zombie. So I am using these methods to start a module in this diagram. You can start navigating. Let me fix the diagram. So if you double click start acquiring, notice there is some highlighting in the structures like the event and the message handling loop that highlights and select the code related to this event. So let's find another frames like stop acquisition, stop acquiring. So, stop acquiring is related to this, even the helper loop there. So you can double click any of the events. You will easily find the frame to know where and what is doing this event. The broadcast. So the broadcast is the way the module has to tell the outer code that is something has been done. So let's say I want to know where is the acquisition started. So I double click acquisition started. Oh, this highlight this broadcast. This is where I am doing the acquisition started broadcast. Let's do some more examples. The status updated, for example. There is a lot of status updated here. So you can see like a sequence of highlighting code to know where is the status updated. Okay, let's move on to the documentation. Let me kill these zombies. Okay. The documentation. So I am in the acquisition library. Oh, I don't have any description there. I can unlock, and then I can write some description. And then there you go. So once I run Antidoc, and Antidoc parses this project, will be searched for this description, this library description, and will be documented. So if I select, let's say, the star acquiring. So this star acquiring, I know the zoom. It says this VI was renamed by the DQMH rename event utility. So maybe this renaming it's good. So I'm gonna update it. So I'm gonna delete this node, and this is cool. Another feature I can add. Oh, we have a different keyboard. You go. This is it. Okay. So I'm gonna place this star acquiring in bold, so you can use this notation like HTML. and save the documentation. So if you go to another event and come back, this is in bold. Okay. Another feature is I have this project and I only see 4 different libraries. I can expand and shrink all the results. And I want to see where is the singleton. So I just double click the library and the project explorer, if the project explorer is minimized, it will be opened. So let's double click in the clonable. So I open the project explorer and highlight where is that library located in order to you easily navigate and use this code in your project. And I'm gonna create an event just for fun. So I'm gonna add acquisition, GDev. Okay, so I'm adding a new event. So these calls to the scripting tools are just the same as the quick drop and etc. So this is a new event. The regular DQMH tools open the API tester first in order to update this new API tester event, the new module event in your API tester, and it is selected in the message handling loop, the new request I just added. In order to be updated here, I just need to scan again the project. I don't do it constantly because the time consumed in the scan. So if I go to acquisition and the request, there is the GDevCon, so I can document, etc. The theme button, you can switch between 2 different interfaces, and I think that's it. Okay, so the key to create this application, and the most difficult part, was to obtain the project application instance. So the first approach I had with this tool is to add it into the functions palette, and the end user will have to add a VI into their code in order to run in the same application instance. So I talk with a lot of developers and get a lot of ideas and feedback. And finally, I succeeded adding into the tools menu. So I need to run in the same application instance in order to create these scripting animations and do these tricks. The second addition is to add the scripting API. So I am using this scripting API to get all the reference to the project related to libraries and events. And I'm building 2 maps, one for names used for strings. It is being used by the tree, and another map for the references. And then I am handling the events. So whenever the user clicks something, I am doing some scripting to open the main VI and search for the event and do these animations in order to help the user find easily where is the code. The call of the scripting tools, I am using the same code used by the quick draw addition. So it's pretty much the same with a little bit modifications in order to run in the same application instance. And I'm using the status updated broadcast event to populate all the status in the application. So the first thing that this Panther dashboard does is to get all the projects in the application, and it is excluding the self project. And it has 1 broadcast in order to populate the combo box. when the user select the project, I am doing pretty much the same, but I am just letting the project reference open. All the other project references are being closed. So this is the trick in order to get my computer reference, the application instance, and the project reference. These references are the key in order to run in the same application instances. I am using all over the code.
Enrique, I have a question.
Yeah.
Since you're using my computer, will it also work for DQMH modules on RT targets, or is that
no?
Not yet.
This is a feature.
Okay.
Maybe in the next release.
Perfect. Thank you.
Yes, that's it. So the code in the previous slide is this VI. So I'm using my computer target. I am getting all the descendants, and this is where I am doing the trick of including all the dependencies into the search. So in the future, I want to add the possibility to scan in my computer, also in RT targets, in order to use this tool in these kind of projects. So then, for each library in my project, I am getting all the related events. I am separating for event types, request and wait for reply. And this is where I am filling the maps. This VI is doing this. Okay. This VI is the one adding these nodes to the tree. And this map is the ones with all the references. So whenever the user click on the tree, selection goes here. I am looking into the names map. In the names map, I added the key for another map. So this is a little bit weird, but it works. In the reference map, I open the reference. If it's valid, I do something. If it is not valid, I do otherwise. I am searching if the module is clonable or singleton, and I am getting the documentation in order to update the user interface. So this is where I am searching for the maps. The calendar description is scripting tools. So these references I was talking about before is where I am using. This is the application instance. I am running the application. I open the VI with the scripting tools, but in the same application instance that I am running this user interface and running this VI. The scripting, maybe I can do it with the actual code to be able to do some. Window. This is the code. This is the one you can grab for the GitHub repository. So it's a DQMH module to scan DQMH projects with DQMH modules. So whenever the user selects something, if the user double clicks something, I am located event into the module. So I am getting the application instance, the event reference, and this is a little bit easy. I am open the main VI of the event that I am searching for. I am browsing into the block diagram of main BI for all the graphical objects, and I am searching into the message handling loop and the event structures. In the message handling loop, so it's really easy. I am searching for cases structures. If I can use this reference and convert it to a case structure, and the case structure contains the label DQMH message cases. So this label, if it is true, I am getting all the frames to this case structure, and I am searching the one with the event name. If I find the event structure with the same name of the event I am searching for, I select this this case structure and do the highlighting. This last method is the one that pop-ups when you are double-clicking something. The one in the event structures is really pretty much the same. So I'm searching for event structures. I am getting the event selectors, and I am searching into the event selector for the event name. If I find it, I select this and do the highlighting. Okay. So, questions so far? Okay.
Hey, so I found trying to do scripting, there's not a lot of good resources that I've been able to find easily. Did you find some good resources to figure out how to do all of this?
Sorry, can you?
Did you find good resources to know how to do all this scripting? I imagine
yeah.
it took a while to figure it out.
Yeah, there are a lot of blog posts in the community and Labio community, and also I asked some stuff for Darren, so Darren helped me with a lot of stuff here. So yeah.
On that note, sorry, that's very loud. Fabiola has a presentation, I think, like Intro to Scripting or How to Be a Scripting Ninja or something like that. That's pretty good too for resources.
Yeah, she has the 5 steps to become a scripting ninja. You can search it in Dialog.com, and there is a really cool blog about that. Questions? Do you want to see another demo? Ben?
The editing tools to change the descriptions in help file, you can't use that while the thing is running. You have to have stopped that module.
Yeah, good question.
Okay, thanks.
So let's do it. This is the test tools. So I'm gonna search for the project modules. So this is the acquisition. I'm gonna start the singleton. So I am open the API tester, start the module. So it is running. If I try to edit the library while it's running, I place some trash here. Okay. So the status, the module select is locked. Maybe it is running. So I'm not sure if it is running the module, but the library is locked. So you can do anything. You have to stop the module. And there you go. That's it.
So just one comment. for the project, you have a drop down, but since you are using just the default input for the application instance, and each project is its own application instance, you'll always have only one entry in that drop down that you're selecting.
Yes.
Instead, you can scan for all open application instances and you can populate that drop down. So you don't need to go to each project's tools and select
Yes.
it. So we are using that in the LabVIEW Task Manager. So you can install that and look at the code behind that for some examples of that.
Okay. Thank you. Any more questions? No? Okay, guys. Can I take a picture with you? My first time here. Say hello. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Enrique.